It's Deep Focus. I'm your host, Mitch Goldman. It's September 1st, 2025. Ben Tyree, fantastic guitar player, Ben Tyree. Tyree. You should definitely check out what he does. He is a mastermind, and he's always telling me about some fantastic guitarists. He and I have a huge overlap of our of tastes of favorite musicians, but he's always coming up with a new take on things, even if it's something I think I know. So I'm so happy to have him in the studio with me. And our topic is a fantastic band, Spectrum Road. I guess they weren't around that long. They made one album. And such a great concept. We went into more detail in part one. This is part two. We went into more detail about the origin of the band, and you might want to check that part out first. And if you already did, here we go. Let's light it up. We're in part two of 3 parts in this show. Ben Tyree on the topic of Spectrum Road. It's Deep Focus. WKCR FM New York, WKCR HD, WKCR.org. Perugia, Italy, 2012, big music festival there, and music from the band Spectrum Road, which is, you heard Cindy Blackman Santana. She had married Carlos Santana by this time, so she's Cindy Blackman Santana, the drummer, also providing those vocals, and John Medeski on the keyboards, Vernon Reid's guitar, Jack Bruce, the bassist and vocalist, so fitting for this band that is a tribute to Tony Williams' lifetime, which Jack Bruce was a member of, having in the late 60s recently departed the biggest, baddest rock band ever at that time, Cream, which the original power trio, the original supergroup. And you were saying, our guest Ben Tyree was saying off mic that
lots of things. I say lots of things off mic.
Yeah, well, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. Jack Bruce was your guy in that band. A lot of people kind of
Wait, Jack Bruce?
Didn't you say in Cream?
Oh, in Cream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of people that band really made Eric Clapton a superstar, but he shared lead vocals with Jack Bruce and a lot of the writing credits as well. But I think maybe it was something else that spoke to you. I don't know.
Well, he's a fellow Scot.
Aye. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us.
No, I mean, that's, what else is there to say about that? That's my ancestry. What are you doing? He's getting up. He's adjusting the mic. Okay. No, yeah, Jack Bruce. I always loved his bass playing. I love that it's improvisational, even when it's in a clear song structure. Like, even with Cream, he was improvising.
Yeah.
Unless, it's like a set, like, something like Sunshine of Your Love, where it's like, that's like a set pattern, right? But in between the cracks, during the solo sections, especially live, he's improvising. And, depending on the drummer, that could be, fun or not. Apparently, Ginger Baker did not enjoy playing with Jack Bruce.
He could be a bit of a handful.
Ginger Baker, let me tell you, that documentary, did you see that?
Yes,
I've
did.
seen it 5 times. I love it. I think it's one of the best musician documentaries ever. Just the way it's put together,
Yeah.
But
what's the name of that? It's like
Beware Mr. Baker, right? Yeah.
Like
that just, God rest his soul, made me not like Ginger Baker. And then I just can't listen the same anymore.
Yeah. I had met him. I met him in Europe. And
I'm sorry.
No, it was really interesting. I mean, I was definitely a fan. And I was introduced to him by Ronald Shannon Jackson. He, thankfully for my sake, Ginger Baker had an enormous amount of respect for Shannon, for his playing, and who he was. And I really had no idea that he was the kind of person that comes through in that film. I mean, it is.
Yeah, it's pretty. But there's all these stories about them. Him. I think he pulled a knife on Jack Bruce at one point because Jack was playing in a way that he didn't like.
Yeah, I have no problem believing that.
I mean, that's just, come on, man. What are you doing?
The two of them had played together like in jazz bands around London. Yeah.
But they couldn't stand each other. And somehow, I don't remember how the Cream got them both involved, because I don't think Eric was like the impetus for that group. I think the documentary seemed to assert that it was kind of a Ginger Baker initiated, and that he wanted to do something with Eric, and then somehow Jack Bruce fell in the fold, and then Ginger was like, great, this guy again. No, yeah, but Eric Clapton, one of the icons of the instrument. And I personally only really liked his work up until maybe like Blind Faith or the Derek and the Dominoes stuff.
When he put down the Gibson.
Yeah, when he picked up the Strat, I don't know, just for me, I know a lot of people love him, and he got totally off the rails in the 70s, and it's pretty well documented. Some of his public foibles, we'll just say that.
Yeah.
And rants, and so I kind of fell off the Eric bandwagon quite unceremoniously.
But in that band, which, 3 really prominent characters. I mean, all 3 of them.
Unreal, the stuff they did. I mean, that last concert, the Albert Hall stuff, oh my God. That's I think that's what's on the Goodbye record, right? The second half, the live half, that is.
They're wearing
just
the white tuxedos on the cover.
That's just phenomenal. The live side.
Yeah.
I mean, I like all their albums.
Yeah.
But Jack Bruce.
He became an icon. This band, Cream, became this enormous phenomenon. And then he kind of walks away to become an artist and sideman or
did a lot of cool stuff. Like his solo record after that, Songs for Taylor, right? That album?
Yeah.
That's so good. So good.
And he's a terrific songwriter. He writes some great material. So we're listening to Spectrum. So Spectrum Road is this band that was created, inspired by Tony Williams' Lifetime, and they're playing a lot of that band's material. Once again, Cindy Blackman on the drums and vocals, Jack Bruce bass and vocals, John Medeski keyboards, Vernon Reid guitar. And we heard in that set Coming Back Home and Where. So we got actually a Jan Hammer composition.
Where is a Jan Hammer?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that showed up on a later Lifetime record, I want to say from like 78. Something like that, yeah.
I thought Where was from Emergency.
Maybe no.
I thought it was from one of the first
was.
two.
Coming Back Home was.
Oh, Coming Back
later.
Home. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the Jan Hammer. Sorry. And Where was on. I want to say the first record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I asked. I told you I wanted to see what you might have to say about John Medeski's playing here, or about him in general.
He's the guy. He's just the dude. For me. No, but he told me I talked to him on the phone about this yesterday, and he told me 2 really quick little anecdotes about Jack that are shareable online.
Okay.
So I guess the overarching theme is Jack played loud.
Uh-huh.
Jack was a loud player, no matter what the room, how big or how small. No room was too small to play full bore.
Well, I guess maybe once you've played arenas like that.
Yeah. So, and then your hearing goes kind of, and you don't know when you're loud, right? Like, that's why people give guitar players so much guff. It's like, we don't know when we're loud. But he was telling me that when they played at Blue Note, probably that same year, 2012 or maybe 2013, and I was at one of these shows. I don't remember this. It was probably they probably had like a week-long run, and he said Jack was playing so loud at
That's
the
a
Blue
small
Note.
room.
Yeah,
It's
not acoustic. It's. I have a lot. I have a lot I can say about the Blue Note. It's not the best acoustically because you're playing at the short wall,
right?
So like the sound, it's really strange, and when you're on stage, it's like it feels like you're playing into a void. So it's easy to get too loud in there. It's really weird playing there. Anyway, he was super loud, and John told me that the paint and the plaster from the ceiling was falling.
Oh my God!
Because of his volume, and that it was like falling on John's organ, and they had to put actually put a tarp up to catch falling ceiling pieces.
Wow.
So I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And the other loud Jack Bruce thing was they were in I think it was the Jazz. What's the one? The Jazz Alley? Is that the one that's
DC?
No, that's not in DC. I think it's the Seattle, right? As the Blues Alley is in DC.
I'm sorry, Blues Alley. Yeah.
Where is the Jazz Alley? I think that was anyway. It was the same thing. Small place, supper club, loud Jack Bruce. John said he couldn't even hear Cindy.
Oh my God.
like for like the whole gig. And he said, and Cindy is not a quiet player.
Yeah.
Like she plays, she hits those drums.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that he just couldn't hear her at all.
Wow.
But hey, what are you going to do when you play with a legend?
That's true. He was and is a legend, Jack Bruce. And his playing is great here. Jack Bruce has still got that spontaneity. He's got that sound. He's still got the same sound. And I guess, it's in his fingers. I think he was a classically trained musician.
Yeah, I believe he started on cello.
Yeah.
Classical. And he moved on to upright bass and got into jazz. And I think he was, played upright before he ever picked up an electric. And I think he started playing electric with Graham Bond, maybe.
Yeah.
Because Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce were in this Graham Bond organization, which was like the premier London sort of R&B outfit, right? And he made the switch in that group to electric. And as documented in the Beware of Mr. Baker movie, that's when Ginger Baker stopped liking playing with Jack Bruce.
Maybe.
Because, it's sometimes upright players, they move to electric and they have all this facility, and it just can be out of control.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he sounded, I never really heard him play much upright. I don't know that I've ever heard him play upright.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, too, because Ginger Baker is not like a, typewriter fusion-y drummer at all. He's much more of a feel, and he's playing behind the beat. And, there's like a weightiness to what he does somehow that's not tied to, a lot of showmanship behind the drums, at least not, heavy-duty chops or anything. So maybe, I don't know, the busy bass playing he felt undercut it. I think it kind of works for the band. I think it's great.
It works too. But he apparently liked Rick Gretsch,
who
was the Blind Faith bass player,
Yeah.
because he was more simpler and would kind of just hold down, and Ginger Baker just does whatever he wants, So there was probably that. But probably the thing we love about Cream, especially live, is that tension between the two.
Yeah.
Musical tension.
Maybe he just liked Rick Gretsch because his name was Gretsch,
Well, I don't know.
which is,
Who knows?
for those who don't know, a brand of drums.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly.
Bad joke. We'll cut that out. We'll edit that. But I was asking about John Medeski's playing here, which I love what he's doing. I love what he's doing. What's he doing?
I love everything he's ever done. He's never hit a wrong note as far as I'm concerned.
You were talking about vocabulary. He's just constantly coming up with new ideas and new sounds and doing these percussive things and really kind of creating these sonicscapes that develop the whole feel of the song.
If you just take what Medeski is doing just with the Hammond B3, because he's known for having just stacks of analog, keyboards, and he does his thing with all of them simultaneously, or he mixes up. But if you just take just his Hammond B3 playing, it's really innovative. And I remember one time I was producing this session, and he was on it, but it was an overdub thing, so it was just him and I was talking through these tracks, and at one point the engineer, who was a piano player, came out, and he was asking him questions, and he was kind of going through his approach to all the switches and drawbars, and I don't know anything about that instrument, but I know that his approach was this natural sort of curiosity to get as much as he possibly could out of the instrument. Yeah, and he would never stay in one. I mean, if you watch him playing, he's moving the drawbars almost like an expression pedal. They're changing constantly. Yeah. He's got his left hand on those bars constantly. And then they bring out other overtones, and he was kind of explaining that. And you have to really be careful about what overtones you bring out because it might clash with the key. I mean, it was just really, really way more sophisticated, intricate than I would have ever imagined. And if he were to hear this, he'd be rolling his eyes.
Well, if you don't know, Hammond B3 is an electric organ. You've certainly seen them. You're hearing it in this recording tonight. And it's, Yeah, the drawbars are, which any a pipe organ has as well, are control the tone and the way that the air moves through it and the shape of the sound, if you will. So a player might have a particular group of settings that they like to play, or in John Medeski's case, it's another constantly changing aspect of his creation.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And the phrase "pull out all the stops" comes from the Hammond organ, right?
From the organ, for sure.
Right,
yeah.
from the organ. So when you pull out all the stops, when they're all out, right? Like they're all now stops are like these little, how would you explain that?
Yeah,
they're like these little drawbars.
Yeah, that controls.
Pull out, and when you bring them closer to you, they bring out different sounds, different overtones. When you pull out all the stops, you have all the overtones. It's super loud. So when people say, "I'm going to pull out all the stops," it's like they're going to,
Yeah. That's where it comes from. Absolutely.
Yep.
No doubt. Ben Tyree is my guest.
Yes.
We are immersed in the music of this band, Spectrum Road, and in particular this recording, the Umbria Jazz Festival in Italy in summer of 2012. And should we get back to the recording?
Sure.
I think we have a
Vashkar, yeah. That's from the Emergency record.
Yeah, I think that's a Carla Bley composition.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's the opening track of No, it's the second track because Emergency is the opening track.
I believe you're right.
Right. I think it's the second track. Yeah.
And then it goes into now.
I cannot
Scottish friend.
pronounce this. But I remember reading about this. It's a Gaelic title. I don't know what it. I'll look it up for the next break.
Well, it's a Jack Bruce. Starts with him intoning and vocalizing, and develops from there. So we'll take a little bit of a ride with Spectrum Road. You are listening to Deep Focus on WKCR. I'm your host, Mitch Goldman. So thankful to be here with Ben Tyree and getting to listen to this great music, Spectrum Road. And here we go, back to Perugia on WKCR.
Jack Bruce.
How you feeling? Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. They're still up there.
Y'all having a good time?
Yeah, I'm having a good time. You having a good time?
Yeah. You got a phone call. What's happening?
I don't know. Put your cans on.
Oh my God, what is this?
You having a good time?
Yes,
I'm having a good time.
Very much. I thought you took a phone call. Or something.
No, Vernon asked if you were having a good time.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Is he on the phone?
No, he's on the stage in Perugia, 2012.
Okay.
You think they're going to do another one? I
spacing
hope
out,
they're going
yeah.
to do another one. It's been a long set.
Well, evidently we have wildlife coming up, right?
That's the way you end a set, huh, Ben?
That's right.
We're in Perugia, Italy with the band Spectrum Road, and they are carrying the torch for Tony Williams' lifetime. And this was, hold on there, folks. We're going to come right back to that. That is too lovely to not give it its due. So, yeah, the show's called Deep Focus. You're listening to WKCR. I'm your host, Mitch Goldman, and I am graced by the presence of Ben Tyree here in the studio. And, yeah, we just went through, it's interesting. I found a few different sets from this tour. It's a pretty extensive tour. This group was out a lot. I seem to remember that I think Jack Bruce was older at this point. I think they made an extra effort to make it as easy as they could for him because it's a lot. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah, it is a lot. And I don't know what it's like to do when you're in your 70s.
Yeah.
But I can assume it's harder than it is.
And it beats us up as
in your 40s.
Yeah.
And I think this was not far from the end for I think he passed in the teens somewhere 2016, something like that.
I believe that. I don't know off the top of my head, but
we'll look it up. But yeah.
It was but yeah, they did do a lot of dates, and interestingly, you play these festivals, which was a lot of what they were doing, and they want a maybe an hour set, sometimes less. And this, what'd you find?
2014.
Yeah.
So this is real close.
Yeah, one of the last projects of this scale that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And here they got to really stretch out. This is an extensive set, and they got to throw in, I think, a few extra things, which I thought would be fun for us to talk about. So
sure, whatever you want to talk about. Mitch.
No. Who's driving the bus?
This is your. As we say in Texas, is your funeral.
Okay. I got my boots on.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean they've gone through. There's quite a bit of music. I mean, Tony Williams wrote a lot of songs, and he had other very strong composers writing material. we were saying earlier, we heard Jan Hammer composition, a Carla Bley composition, and they're going to end the set with a Jack Bruce composition.
Yes.
What
Bruce and Brown. Pete Brown was the lyricist.
Oh, yeah. Not to be overlooked.
Many of the Cream songs were penned by. So I think the deal is that Jack Bruce wrote the music, Pete Brown wrote the lyrics. So most of the Cream's material is credited as Bruce Brown, right?
Yeah. And what are we going to hear?
The big Cream hit, their big hit, Sunshine of Your Love.
Let's imagine that our listener does not know this song.
I can't imagine that. How can you not? I remember the first time I heard this song, I just thought, oh, this is music.
Yeah.
I was a big Cream fan, huge.
When was the first time you heard this song?
I was like 13 probably.
That would be the age, man.
And it kind of changed. I was like, oh, I see. Okay. But it's just this very slow kind of bluesy groove. It's credited as, influencing a lot of the early heavy metal, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it gets lumped in with these like psychedelic riffs, like the Inagata-Devitas and Smoke on the Water, even though that's, a little bit later. But these like recognizable cliched classic rock riffs, right?
Yeah.
Like Sunshine is definitely in the top 5.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, one of the first riffs that any kid who picks up a guitar
Oh, yeah,
learns.
it's what you gotta learn that.
Yeah.
You gotta learn that immediately.
That and Smoke on the Water.
And it's a blues. The structure is a blues. Turnaround is a little bit different, but yeah, it's a 12-bar blues.
And one of the great things about that performance that really makes it work, we were talking about this, is that tension between, you've got Ginger Baker really dragging the beat and Jack Bruce and Eric Clapton kind of pushing against that. Mm-hmm. And you tell me, Jack Bruce is Jack Bruce. He's still himself. He's still bringing the same kind of thing that he brought to the studio recording however many years ago. And Cindy Blackman sounds like she is consciously referencing Ginger Baker's approach on drums.
And possibly. I'll have to hear it.
You'll have to hear it. I want to hear what you think. And then you'll hear in relationship to that what Vernon Reid does on guitar and et cetera. And then what Medeski brings to it. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But it's so interesting because this huge hit song made popular by the guy who wrote it, who happens to be, coincidentally or not, on stage with us here in Perugia. He's part of Spectrum Road in 2012. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
All right. It's Deep Focus. And this is what we do. The radio station is WKCR-FM New York, WKCR HD. Maybe you're listening to us on WKCR.org, which you can get anywhere around the world. 89.9 FM here in New York City. This show, Deep Focus, you can listen to on the podcast anytime you want. We have over 400 episodes up online. They're all free, commercial free. We don't ask for your email address or anything. It's just wide open. We're giving it away. And some of those shows feature our guest tonight, Ben Tyree.
But most of them do.
About 3/4.
Half of them.
Yeah. And the good ones.
Right, sure.
And you can search for them. You know that? There's a search mechanism. Okay, so you can get us on whatever your favorite podcasting app is. The most popular one from this show is Apple Podcast. But the hosting site, if you don't do the podcast app thing, you can go to mitchgoldman.podbean.com, mitchgoldman.podbean.com, and there's a way to search in there. Like you could put Ben Tyree, Bentyyree. You could put in his name.
Search everywhere. Search that name everywhere.
That's right.
Go to my Instagram. Just
tell the folks about your Instagram.
Get over to that Instagram, Ben Tyree.
You totally want to
sign
follow
up on
Ben.
my mailing list, but just do the Instagram. It takes 2 seconds. You just hit follow.
Yeah.
And you'll be informed of all of my shenanigans.
Yeah. You don't want to miss any of that.
Do it now. Do it now.
Right now.
Yeah.
We'll wait. We're
Ben
gonna wait.
Tyree, BenTyree on Instagram. My website, .net, bentyree.net.
You can also follow Deep Focus.
Deep Focus.
Deep Focus Podcast.
Yes.
On Instagram, deep_focus_podcast. But definitely sign up for the Ben Tyree one. That one you want to
Well, I don't have a podcast. I did have a podcast. but
No, I mean on Insta.
Insta, yeah.
Insta, as the kids say.
Right.
All right. So I think this is very cool. I love the fact that they decided to use this as their encore. And come on, everybody loves this song. So it's Spectrum Road. This is not the end of the show. It's the end of this set. But we got more great stuff coming your way. So here we go. Perugia, Spectrum Road on Deep Focus on WKCR.
Sunshine of your love.
Oh, he is not going to leave us there, is he? He's not going to. Oh, no, he did not cut off Sunshine of Your Love. Well, that was how part 2 ended of this program. But part 3 is coming your way. You can find it if you don't know where to find it. If you stumbled onto this or somebody sent it to you, well, the show's called Deep Focus. I'm your host, Mitch Goldman, and you can find Deep Focus on your favorite podcasting app. Most people seem to find us on Apple Podcasts, but we're on most of them, I think. And you can always find it on the hosting site, which is mitchgoldman.podbean.com. mitchgoldman.podbean.com. You can also find out more general stuff about the show and very, very specific things about Deep Focus at my personal website. Since you made it all the way through to the end of the show, I'm inviting you to check that out. It's mitchgoldman.com. So you can take a look in there, pull down the About Deep Focus tab, and you can look up all kinds of stuff. I mean, we have, I think this is episode 421. So there's a lot of stuff out there. If you want to hear other shows Ben Tyree has done with me, like, say, the one on Frank Zappa or Jeff Beck, you can check that search bar at mitchgoldman.com/aboutdeepfocus and put in Ben's name, Ben, Tyree. Isn't he great company? Doesn't he have some big ears? Doesn't he hears everything? Very insightful, great listener, great player too. I think he's bentyree.com, Tyree. And go deeper. That's kind of the message of all of this. If you're digging the music, how far can you go? And where can the music lead you? It's a big question. It's a big, crazy question. Most people never go through that door, but you can. And that's, I think, what we're trying to tell you is that door is open. Explore and see what you see. Tell us, I'd love to hear how you listen to this show, where and when you listen to this show, and if there's any particular songs that or artists or episodes that strike you. You have, this is not just our show, mine and the guests, it's your show. You, as a listener, have had experiences we've never had. You were in the room. We weren't there. I want to hear what your take on that was. You can find us at deepfocusnow@gmail.com, deepfocusnow@gmail.com. That is also the address if you want to make a financial contribution to keeping this show going. That'd be great. You don't have to, but you can, and use that address, deepfocusnow@gmail.com, at PayPal. That's a great way to put a little something in the pot to keep things going. And you can also follow us on Instagram. We got some cool conversations going there that you should be part of if you're enjoying this music. We are Deep Focus Podcast at Instagram, and you can find out more about the show. As always, if you do dig it, please do tell the world with some likes and thumbs up and 5 stars, whatever your listening device permits, because that helps other people find the show. That's what we really want to do. We don't do any advertising here or anything, but we want to include you and all the people who think like you. Doesn't that fascinate you? That there are people, this is not willfully obscure. I don't know about you. I don't like things better because other people don't. I feel like anybody could get into this. I totally believe that. This is not esoteric to me. It's pop music that just not everybody listens to. We're rather a small coterie, I must say, but this has the potential of taking over the world if you want it to. So believe it or not, when you just show a little love for this show, somehow that algorithm says, maybe Kevin would like this music too. Maybe Joni would like to hear this. I don't know how. I don't even know Kevin or Joni, but the algorithm does, and you control the algorithm. All right, that's enough of my blather. I'm going to see you at part 3, once again, September 1st, 2025. Ben Tyree on the subject of Spectrum Road. You just listened to part 2, and the third and final part is coming your way. Come find us. Deep Focus.